Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. We continue our learning and we ask you to please continue davening for Charlei Tzvagan Yisrael, for Shlomo Chol B'Tzvah Yisrael, and a return of our hostages for Kvuras Yisrael, dedicating our learning each and every day, Lili Nishmat Seren, Daniel Shimon ben Arav Doron V'Shol Hashem Ekum Damo. Next chapter, Amidah V'Raglayim Tzimudos. B'Psukei D'Zimra u'Beberachos Kriyas Shema, R'shay Adam Le'Shev Olamod. So in Psukei D'Zimra and in the blessings of Kriyas Shema, a person can stand, a person can sit. Aval Kivan She'Hagil L'Tefillah Shemoneh Esreh, Alav La'amod B'Raglayim Tzimudos. However, when we get to the Shemoneh Esreh, to the Amidah, as the name itself implies, Amidah, one has to stand, but also with legs together, at attention, so to speak. Hamidah Mevatas Es Haisyatzvus Hamalaya Shel Ha'adam. The Amidah is an expression of our ability to stand up as human beings, Meiroshav Ad Raglov, from head to toe, Likras Tefillah, showing our full readiness and awareness to have davening and be in the right state. Benusaf Lakach, in addition, Yesh Ba'Amidah Bitul Yirah La'ema Shel Ha'omer L'fnei Melko Shel Ha'olam. And also during Shemoneh Esreh, it's an expression of the fear and the awe that one who's standing in front of the king of the entire world. Therefore, during davening, one should not lean on anything. Don't support your weight on anything, like a shtender, for instance. Because if you're leaning even just a little bit, this is not considered standing with awe. And in the case of need, let's say somebody who is weak, or someone who cannot stand without leaning on something, he should try to lean as little as possible. So the litmus test is that if you would remove the supporting item and you would still be able to stand and you wouldn't fall over, then that would be acceptable. Because even though you're not standing with ema, with this proper fear and awe, but nevertheless, you're still standing and you're considered davening while standing. Yatzmid es raglav ad shiyu karegel achas. So you should stand with your feet together, so it seems as if you are on one leg, as like almost like you're on a post. Mishum shepisa karaglaim choshev es atzad hachomri sheba'adam, because the extension of your legs and having you stand this way, it's the physical part of a person. V'gam mevatei saritza achar inyanim olam hazeh, and it also represents running after things in this world. Your legs. That's why the Kohanim, when they would go up to the Mizbeach, they would walk a certain way so that it wouldn't show this expression of running to do other things. And therefore, we also, when we daven, we refrain from having our legs spread apart. By putting our feet together, this is also an expression of gathering all the active strength that we have in our legs, and we are now subjugating that towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we only have one purpose and one desire, to stand in front of God in prayer. And this is where people say, oh, you have to be like an angel. We learn this from like angels, because the pasuk in Yecheskel says, V'raglehem regel yishara, and their legs are like a one straight leg in the singular. Klomar raglehem tzimidos ad shneros karegel achas, that their legs were together, so much so that it appears as if you have only one leg. Tzorch lahasmid et kapot raglaim l'chol orcham, kedei sheyir ad kama efshar karegel achas. We have to also spread out our entire feet, the entire length. So again, it looks as if you are one and you stand up straight, you put your feet out straight, and we're not just spreading out just a little bit. And however, if someone still had the legs spread apart while davening, you're still yotzei tefillah, but again, you're not yotzei in the way that you stand. If someone is ill and cannot stand up, yispal yeshiva, you can daven while sitting down. And if you can't even sit and you can only be lying down, if you're that sick, then you can daven while lying down. However, according to many, many poskim, if before you'll finish the time of davening, before that reaches the Zman Tefillah, and you're able to have enough strength that you could stand up, then you should go back and daven standing up, Shemoneh Esreh, because the main part of davening is standing up in Shemoneh Esreh. But practically speaking, the conclusion of the Achronim is that if you daven sitting down or even lying down, you're yotze. And even if you could stand up afterwards, you don't have to go back and re-daven while standing. Someone who's also in a position where they have to daven sitting down or lying down, then at least you should, while sitting, put your feet together and also bow down at the proper times, which we're going to see with the bowing down coming up. And someone, let's say, who's in a wheelchair, you should also take, obviously you're not going to take 3 steps back, but you should move back from your position. Again, showing this approaching and taking leave of tefillah in the appropriate way. So this might be practical. Let's say someone is on an airplane or on a train and you can't stand up, so you should put your feet together and you should bow at the proper times while saying Shemoneh Esreh, even though while it is being in a seated position. We try our best always to be standing, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So thank you for sitting, lying, or standing with us as we learn. Please continue davening for Tefillah May, the safe return for hostages, L'Kvuras Yisrael. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.